Well, the passing of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg leaves an open seat on the Supreme Court during an election season with a heightened political climate. That climate has led some to argue the process of filling Justice Ginsburg's seat should wait until after the election. Some argue there's just simply not enough time to go through the process correctly. Others say the American people should get to weigh in with their vote in the presidential race. Joe Paris spoke with the University of Idaho law expert about the process and where we do go from here.
When it comes to filling a vacant seat on the United States Supreme Court, University of Idaho professor of law and constitutional expert Shakira Sanders says, contrary to how some may feel, the system of replacing a vacant seat on the Supreme Court is inherently political.
This system is designed to be political. So to the extent that people think that there's a problem with politics coming into this process, if you look at the Constitution, Article 2, Section 2, it's called the Appointment Clause. Pretty much it says the president has the power to nominate an individual for the U.S. Supreme Court. And then the Senate gives their consent by the appointments process.
So, what's the technical process? Sanders says the Constitution keeps it very simple.
There are no rules of procedure that dictate when the nomination happens or when the appointment happens. And so to the extent that it does say shall, where the president does sort of have that power to exercise.
After a candidate is selected, the president's official involvement is over. From there, the United States Senate takes the reins how they see fit.
The Senate has the power to make their own rules. The president can't say to the Senate, you have to do it this way. And so, again, there's a lot of independence in the different branches on this.
Traditionally, the Senate Judiciary Committee members will investigate the candidate and then hold hearings to essentially interview the president's nominee. That leads to a recommendation to the full Senate, which usually then leads to a vote. The rules around the vote have changed in recent years, but a successful vote now is simply 51 of the 100 senators voting yes.
Simple majority, which is a new rule from back, I think, when Obama was president and Democrats had control of the Senate. The rule had changed. You used to need a super majority, but now it's just a simple majority.
There has been a debate over the last few days about filling the vacancy before the election. For a variety of reasons, some argue that the process should wait until after the election. Sanders explains, though, there is no laws or rules to enforce any time constraints. It can simply happen at the will of the president and Senate.
If President Trump wanted to nominate someone tomorrow, so be it. If the Senate wanted to sit and hear that nomination the next day, so be it. It really is up to those separate branches of government about what the process is. Now,
since 1975, the average number of days from a nomination of a Supreme Court justice to a confirmation vote is 67 days. Election day is in 43 days, and President Trump has not yet nominated someone. Now, over the last 30 years, the fastest Supreme Court nomination and confirmation process took 42 days. That was for Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg back in 1993.
If this goes through before the election, that will be historic, that we would get a vote in that quickly.
Okay, so Joe, we last had a contested presidential election back in 2000 that went to the Supreme Court. This one could go that way. A lot of contingencies here. But if it does go to the Supreme Court and there's not that seat is not filled, and it's 8 members of the Supreme Court, how is this thing going to be settled?
Well, we actually saw that back in 2016, Brian, when the Obama administration was acting on DACA. It went all the way up to the Supreme Court. 8 members there. They were split 4 and 4. So in that situation, they actually will go to the lower court, a court that actually had passed that case to them for the final decision. So in that case specifically, it went back down to the circuit court, and the Supreme Court didn't end up having the final say.
All right, so I can understand kind of the sense of urgency here to kind of avoid that scenario coming up. All right, thank you very much, Joe. And as you heard Joe say, the second step of this process lies with the Senate.